Hey YouTube, welcome to Hangfire TV. Tonight we have kind of a special episode to talk about. We're special. There's been a news story recently in my hometown where our government-owned and operated arena, a big event venue, is now going to be installing metal detectors and restricting people legally carrying a firearm from entering the premises. Now, they've always had a sign on there that said, no guns allowed, but they never enforced it. Like, I could walk in with a concealed pistol, no one know anything, right? Well, now all of a sudden, now they're going to install metal detectors and are going to restrict access because you're carrying a gun. So if I want to go to these overpriced events at the arena, I'm either going to have to not bring my gun, which means I'm not protected as I walk through the, not the best area of town, but I'll be restricted from entering the premises, and in theory, it's violating our state constitution. Any input on that, you guys?
Well, you're saying just your pistol. Well, it's a metal detector, so guess what? No pocket knife either.
Right, but pocket knives aren't protected by the state constitution.
Yeah, so regardless, you're going in 100% 100%.
Yeah, that's a good point. And now the other thing is the parking lot of the arena has been a big area for prowlers during events. So I mean, if you have to leave your gun in your car, you would have a bigger problem, and it's going to get stolen. Now, who's responsible for that? Nobody. And then you're going to have criminals who break into cars getting access to firearms. When it would be even better just to have the person going to the event having their gun on them,
which is what they've been doing this whole time. Right,
and protecting the 13,000 other people at the venue. They're even talking about restricting law enforcement, even off-duty law enforcement, from being able to carry in the arena as well.
Yep.
Now, honestly, I had a big issue with this, and the reason why is because it violates our state constitution. Washington State has a law, it's RCW 9.41.290, which is a state preemption, basically stating local municipalities, counties, cities, any municipal government agency cannot make laws that are stricter than the state constitution. Now,
about firearms.
Right, specifically about firearms. Now, here's the thing. Our Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena is owned by the Spokane Public Facilities District, which was a government corporation created by the state legislator and as a taxing authority. Therefore, they're bound by the state constitution, and therefore they are violating the state preemption law. So there's going to be a big, huge fight over this. Apparently, the CEO of the Public Facilities District knows about this, doesn't give a crap. So there's going to be a huge fight on their hands about this. So that really kind of is something that set me off earlier this week, and will be making a big deal out of it, because I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I'm sorry, but if I'm going to a big event like that, I don't want some drunk asshole getting all Billy Badass on me and thinking that he can do whatever he wants and me not being able to protect myself or my family that I'm with. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I got a question. Do you feel safer when you're at the airport inside of the secured area knowing that everybody else is unarmed too?
No.
Me neither.
Because I'm not in control. I don't have... I'm sorry, but I mean, if someone's going to do something bad, they're going to do something bad. It doesn't matter what method they use, whether they have a gun, they pick up a chair, a stool, or they pick up a beer bottle and try to swing it at you. I mean, beer bottles can kill people just as easily as a gun can. And in some cases...
If they want to do harm, they're going to do harm.
Exactly. And if I can't protect myself, how am I going to protect myself? Am I going to pick up a chair or a beer bottle and swing it at them? That's not very efficient. Sorry, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, but this whole thing that just came out this week, and the thing that they're trying to even restrict off-duty law enforcement.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it is.
I mean, if you can't trust them with guns, then who the fuck can you trust?
That's not the point.
Right.
It's not the point is because they have guns. It's the whole thing about control. Let's control the sheeple in a restricted environment that's a gun-free zones are a prime target for people who want to do bad because there's no defensive. Everybody's
Right.
defenseless. There's no person defending anybody else. So if
So
someone
they
wants to
hire
get in
they
there,
hire they hire police, right, during events. So they have a few
yeah,
cops running around, but
yeah,
if a few
they
terrorists
can't be
decide to
everywhere.
show up with AK-47s, they could just walk right through the door and start shooting everybody like fish in a
There you
barrel, just
go.
like all
And then
those
one of
other
my
mass shootings.
right, same thing with the school shootings. How come mass shootings only happen in gun-free zones? Is because the person who wants to do the most harm, they don't want to go somewhere where they're going to be shot back at. They want a shooting gallery where they can just walk in and be unopposed and just blast off as many people as they can. They don't want to be opposed. That's why it only happens in free zones.
So the arena supposedly had that policy in place already for like 20 years or something, right? Since the
Right.
90s.
Yeah.
So
Since it
they
was
just
published
they just
since
never
the-
even
doing
they never
something
even
about
tried
it.
to enforce it.
No, and now all of a sudden, for some reason, they want to start enforcing and making people go through a metal detector.
I think over here it kind of depends on the event, right? And that's the same thing I believe the CEO said. We did some research and found a forum post where people had been in contact with them about this already before the metal detectors thing even came up because
Yeah.
they still had their anti-gun policy. And basically their response was that the person holding the event gets to choose the rules. So it's entirely possible that those metal detectors will only get used during rap concerts or something like that. You never know because shows over
That's
here sometimes they have metal detectors and sometimes they don't. It just depends on what the event is.
But from what I've understood, it's for all events at the arena. Now, here's the thing, though. They're not how I understand the rule works is that since the property rights of the arena don't change to the person holding the event, just the licensing fee, just the licensing of using the event, it's basically renting the property. They're not transferring ownership to this person for this temporary period. They're using the event, but no property rights have changed hands. Therefore, the state preemption law still takes effect. Now, the other arenas in the other parts of the state might be different because they might be owned by different groups or different, if they're owned by private corporations. But since our arena is owned by basically a municipality, they're bound by the Constitution and they can't restrict rights or make laws or rules that are more strict than the state constitution. It doesn't matter who's holding the event. The property is still owned by the Spokane Public Facilities District. And
Yeah.
it's still bound by state law.
So who's the one that makes the decision on whether or not the metal detectors are turned on or off? Because it's kind of a similar situation at the Tacoma Dome. We go to a gun show there all the time, and the metal detectors are turned off. We walk right through them.
Right.
Oh,
but
I've gone to actually every show I've ever gone to there. I've carried my gun, and they never did security checks at any arena that I've been to yet. All they ever do is look inside of bags. That's it.
Yep.
They one place we went, they made my wife throw away her pepper spray, but I walked through there with my 9mm in my waistband, and no one knew nor cared. It's security theater 100%.
So last time I went
without
to
metal
It's to
detectors.
make people feel fuzzy and feel better.
well, that's all it is. You're not changing anything. You're not changing the security dynamics of the facility. All you're doing is going to be potentially making it worse. Because someone wants to come in and do harm, they're going to do harm.
Yeah, they're
And
going to go
it-
sneaking
13
through a door on another part of the building or plant a gun in there ahead of time when they aren't checking security because it's not an airport. It's not 100% secure all the time,
Right.
So, I mean, that's stupid.
It is. So you're going to make 13,000 people defenseless. Well, I don't remember how much it is. It's not 13,000. It's like, maybe it is. I can't remember how many seats the
lot.
arena holds. But, yeah, so that many people are going to be held defenseless because some stupid CEO of the Spokane Public Facilities District is anti-gun and thinks making a gun-free zone is going to make it safe all of a sudden.
Yeah, so
How
the
is that going to
problem
make it safe?
you have to be
Sounds like
harmed
sounds
by
like he's
the
in
whole thing.
politics.
Yeah. It seems like you'd have to be harmed by it somehow before you'd be able to file a lawsuit to really try to challenge it.
Well, and that might be something that somebody's going to have to do. I mean, if I buy a ticket to go to an event, I try to enter the event with my legally carried pistol, and they deny me access because of the fact that I'm carrying a pistol and will not disarm myself. They are violating my state rights and therefore are subject to a lawsuit. So I can see a big, huge fiasco coming on about this. It's
lot of
not
people in
over.
the gun community attempting to gain access.
Well, a
specifically
lot
for
of
that
a lot
reason.
of people are talking about boycotting any event at the arena right now because of this whole thing that's going on. I put a comment up on one of our local news agencies where I stated the preemption law, the whole entire text. There were a lot of people that agreed with me on it and said that they're going to be boycotting events at the arena now because of this. Because I mean, the area where the arena is at is not it's not the best neighborhood in Spokane, and I'll be damned if I walk through that neighborhood without a gun on me. Plain and simple.
Okay. I think we're
There's-
about out of time, too.
Oh, okay.
Unless you want to
Sorry,
yell some more. Go ahead. You can
No,
shake your fist a little bit. It'll help make you feel better.
Oh, I know what I can carry.
Oh, God, no!
Oh no, not the
The rules
tactical
didn't say anything about
tomahawk.
tomahawks, did it?
Ha! I'll just carry this with me. Yeah, I
Please
didn't
don't.
say anything about carrying tomahawks. I could throw this at
Because
somebody,
that
and
won't label you as a psychopath.
Yeah,
now they
someone's,
won't let me enter because of this
someone's
reason.
definitely put a check mark next to your name already in a database, sir.
I'm sure I'm on the government watch list somewhere for something. It wouldn't surprise
I
me.
think we all are.
Pretty sure.
After creating this YouTube channel, yes, you better believe we are. Oh well, if you're not on the government watch list, you're not doing something right.
You're not having fun.
Yeah.
So anyway,
All right. Well, if you liked this video, thumbs up. If you didn't like it, thumbs down. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. And
Comment on what you feel about the thing that is happening at the Spokane Arena. And let us know what your
comment,
thoughts on it
especially if
are.
you're from this area or in Washington and you know the laws and stuff. Talk to us down below and let us know what you think.
yeah, do that.
Bye.